You know how you just stop talking to people for no reason? Well, that happened to me, and here's how I got back in touch with my friends after a year not talking to them. So this was give or take about 2018, 2019. Me and my buddy Vila, we were going after high school. We went to the same college together. All right, let's say it was about a 45-minute drive from the town we lived in. And for the first year, we would always like park in the same area. So occasionally I would see him in the morning, or after getting off of class, going back home. And well, there was a semester where I guess with the my classes, my class council, whatever the specific term is, had these, I guess, this other classes that she offered either to take at the main campus, or they had another campus in this other town, right? Which at the time, or I say at the time, but thinking, going there for 45 minutes, going to the other campus was about 30-35 minutes. So it was less of a drive, 10-15 minutes plus, right? So I considered to just take all my courses at that campus for that next semester, right? And so what this was like, I suppose this was like my last semester, second to last semester. I don't remember. I would suppose it would either have to be the second to last semester. Right. Well, yeah. I mean, I'll try a different campus. Uh, the site was very small, huh, compared to the main campus, of course. But the thing is, for this period of time, give or take like a year, well over a semester long, but yeah, for sure it was like a year. I just didn't talk with my friends, right? My friend from that I went with college with, or even my other friend that I had still spoken to after high school. And I mean, granted, you can say it was both our parts, our faults. I didn't reach out, they didn't reach out, so it was kind of like, okay, we're just, yeah. I mean, we had us like a snap, because Snapchat was very prevalent in high school with us. Like we had a Snapchat group that we were always talking. So for whatever reason, everyone just stopped talking. I mean, granted, like I said, I stopped messaging there, and yeah, like a year went by, right? And at the time, you'd think like, okay, so you haven't talked, and I don't have many friends, right? So for me to not talk with my few friends for a year, you would think it'd be like, hey, like you should reach out, like just something in your head, like. But at the time, I guess you can say my excuse was I was so busy with college work and working part time. I mean, my days were, my weeks, my months were just like that. The week by week, month by month went by so fast. So yeah, I mean, you know, going to work, working part time, and then going to school. I mean, my days off were just focused on college work. So I really wasn't playing video games there. Obviously I wasn't talking with anyone. I was just like solo dolo. But the thing is, my mind was kept busy because, well, I was either at work or doing college work or at college, right? Um, it was one of those things where for a while at that point, being solo, like just not talking with anyone, whether it was college friends, high school friends, whichever the case may be. I mean, it really wasn't a big deal, but I suppose it couldn't really have gone that much longer till I kind of like clicked, like, hey, it's been over a year plus now, or you know, maybe after like I graduated from college, maybe that would have been like, hey, I graduated and everything, because my buddy, uh, I don't recall if he graduated the same. I don't think he graduated the same semester as I think he graduated the following semester. I think that's what may have happened is I I think I may have taken extra classes. That's may be what I did. Granted, it's been many years, so sorry for now if I don't remember. But I think I may have taken multiple classes, like more than four, to kind of like speed it up. Um, so yeah, I may have been taking five classes. I'm not too sure. I mean, that must have been case because yeah, I don't recall graduating with them. But my buddy, it must have been he would have graduated the next semester. But that's the thing. After that, I didn't see him, right? So I guess if that was my last semester, second to last, I went there for my last semester. I never went back to the main campus. Um, for at least classes, right? So it's one of those things where I was seeing my buddy in college almost day by day. Like we would meet up and play, some places on the campus, just talk how classes went and everything like that. You know, and that was kind of like a daily routine. Like, hey, like let's meet up here, this and that, or and then all of a sudden, nil. Just almost a year goes by and no contact, no calls, no messages, and it's crazy enough. Me and my buddies, we lived in the same town. So it wasn't like we were in a whole different part of the state or anything like that. Like we were in the same town. Granted, my college buddy, he lived like in the country, but it was still like considered in town. Like it was still in the, how should I say? It was still in the radius to be considered part of that town. And it's one of those things where going for a year plus, and it's just like I suppose people's lives get so busy they just kind of forget, or they don't need that relationship. You know, they're just so busy, they don't have time to think and whatnot. Versus, when your mind wanders day by day, week by week, you're kind of wanting some sort of some sense to kind of keep you busy. And so here's the thing, right? So let's say a year went by and everything, and almost every day when I went to the campus, I would always listen to like a radio station. And I mean, that was like my ritual, just like listening to the radio station, listening to music. And one day they were advertising like, hey, let's like us on our Instagram page. There's social media pages or to follow us. And so one day, because I had created my Instagram account back in high school, I just never used it, right? And so pretty much I there was sometime that day, or I looked up in Instagram to follow them, and then I got a notification. Now I don't know, I really don't use Instagram that often, rarely, right? I got a notification like, hey, you want to join this group chat with your friends? I'm like, group chat? What? Like, what? I'm like, oh, sure. I'm like, I clicked it, and I joined in with several of with pretty much all my buddies I had talked with from the Snapchat group. And I'm like, hello? Like, because it wasn't active right at the time. So I was like, hello? And they started responding like, oh, long time no see, guys, right? And then from there on, we eventually got on a call. I say got on a call. We eventually hopped on like Xbox Talk and everything, but it was just like, hey, a year later, just like, hey, how y'all doing? And then just kind of act like nothing happened, right? And we joke about it from time to time whenever that situation comes up. I'm like, yeah, I remember when you guys ditched me for a year, and then they say the verbatim back to me, like, no, you ditched us, you ignored us. As a joke, right? Nothing like serious, but it's kind of like a joke about. But I mean, it was 50-50. I didn't respond. I didn't reach out. They didn't reach out. It was like, well, if no one reaches out, I guess we'll never talk to each other again, which crazy enough, that happens to a lot of people out there, right? No one makes that first move, and it's just all of a sudden, you know, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years later until, something like that happens or you see them in public and whatnot. Well, it's just crazy thinking that some Instagram feature just like, hey, I guess maybe the group chat was a public and the algorithm was, hey, I see you hopping on Instagram. Let me recommend you to a group chat you may be interested in joining because it's public. Or at least, yeah, I guess public, but Instagram kind of had that, I would say, like an algorithm was like, hey, since we see your friends, you can join in, or it's a friends only chat and you're friends with them. I'm like, if it wasn't for that, who knows when would be the next time I would talk to him? Like, on honestly, God, like, I don't know. I would assume after I graduated, I'd reach out like, hey, graduated guys, how y'all doing? This and that, but it was just crazy going for a whole year and no contact, right? And it actually felt like no time passed, right? And so, have you ever reconnected with anyone, like an old friend or old acquaintance, cousin, family member, and did it feel the same or different way, right? Because everyone has different relationships with other individuals. So, you know, talking to someone a year later, or 3 years later, or even months later, is this that still same relationship, or if the relationship dwindled, or still the same? I love to hear about it. Tell me your stories. I would love to read them. Please comment below. Thank you. Take care.